You just ate a big meal, and an hour later you are hunting for snacks like you never ate. You are not weak, you are not broken. Something in your body is acting like fuel is running out, even while plenty of energy is stored. That mismatch makes cravings louder, patience shorter, and just stop eating feel impossible. If you want hunger to calm down, you do not need more grit. You need a different switch flipped. Moving to slide 2. Hunger is not one simple signal. It has two jobs. One job is immediate energy. If your brain senses fuel might get tight soon, it pushes you to eat, fast. That is the low blood sugar prevention side. It is protective, and it can feel urgent. The other job is longer term. Hunger also shows up when your body is trying to correct a gap, like not enough protein, not enough minerals, or not enough overall usable energy across the day. That is why you can feel hungry, even after a huge plate of food. When those two jobs get confused, hunger stops being a gentle reminder and turns into a demand. Calm appetite depends on being able to access the right fuel at the right time. Moving to slide 3. Think of your body running in two main fuel modes. In glucose mode, you are burning the sugar coming in from your last meal and the glycogen stored in your liver and muscles. In fat mode, you are pulling energy from stored body fat and circulating fatty acids. You are supposed to switch back and forth smoothly. After you eat, insulin rises. That is normal. Insulin helps move glucose into cells, and it also tells fat tissue to hold back on releasing fat. So when insulin is high, you are mostly locked into glucose mode. Hours later, as the meal is handled, insulin should fall. That drop matters. Lower insulin is the permission slip to open access to stored fat. If that transition is easy for you, you feel steady. If it is hard, you feel like you are running out of fuel between meals, even if you have plenty stored. Metabolic flexibility is not a buzzword. It is the difference between calm and panicky hunger. Moving to slide 4. When the switch does not flip cleanly, you feel an energy gap. It is not always a rumbling stomach. It is shaky urgency. You get irritable and weirdly impatient. Your brain feels slower, like a dimmer got turned down. Suddenly, only quick carbs sound good. Not chicken, not salad, not leftovers. That is your system trying to solve a problem fast. If glucose is dropping and insulin is still high enough to keep fat release limited, your brain pushes you toward the fastest available fuel. That is why waiting feels unbearable. It is also why eat a bigger dinner often backfires. You can be physically full and still feel driven to snack because the issue is access, not volume. Once you recognize this feeling as a fuel gap, you stop moralizing it. You can start fixing the conditions that make the gap happen in the first place. Moving to slide 5. Big meals fail when the carb load is high. Glucose rises quickly. Insulin rises to manage it. And insulin can stay elevated longer than you expect. Then glucose falls. But fat access is still delayed because insulin is still telling your body to hold back. So hunger comes back early, with urgency, even after a huge plate. That is how a big meal turns into a snack cycle, especially with ultra-processed foods in the mix. Moving to slide 6. Ultra-processed foods are built to slip past your brakes. They pack lots of fast carbs, very little fiber, and surprisingly low protein for the calories. That combo is easy to eat quickly, easy to overeat, and it barely turns on the fullness signals your brain trusts. The reward system lights up before your stomach has a chance to vote. If you fix one thing first, set a minimum for protein and let it anchor the meal. Moving to slide 7. Protein sets the floor because it changes what your body expects from food. When you eat enough protein, you get stronger satiety signaling and a steadier appetite curve, so meals feel complete instead of starting a snack hunt an hour later. Use it like a control knob. At each meal, pick one clear protein centerpiece. Eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, chicken, turkey, fish, lean beef, tofu, tempeh, lentils, or a protein shake if you are truly stuck. Then size it so you hit roughly 25 to 40 grams per meal for most adults, or about a palm to a palm and a half of cooked lean meat, or a heaping cup of high-protein dairy, or a solid block of tofu. This does two practical things. It protects lean mass while dieting, which keeps your daily calorie needs from crashing, and it makes meal spacing easier because you are not relying on willpower to delay the next eating decision. Build the plate around protein first, then everything else gets simpler, especially when you add foods that slow the wave. Moving to slide 8. Fiber slows the wave by changing the speed and shape of the meal. When fiber is present, glucose tends to rise more gradually, fullness lasts longer, and the urge to graze between meals drops. You do not need perfection. You need a repeatable move. Aim for one high-fiber item at every meal. Pick from beans or lentils, berries, apples or pears, vegetables you can eat a lot of, oats, chia or flax, or a higher fiber whole grain you actually enjoy. If you struggle with veggies, start with a bagged salad, frozen veg, or a simple soup. If you eat carbs, keep them paired. Carbs plus fiber plus protein beats carbs alone. Fiber also increases meal volume without a huge calorie jump, which helps your stomach's stretch signals match the calories you ate. And feeding gut microbes is not a magic trick, but many people notice steadier digestion and fewer cravings when fiber is consistent. If your meals feel like they disappear, add fiber until they feel like they have weight, even when the calories stay the same. That matters even more when calories are coming in liquid form. Moving to slide 9. Liquid calories are sneaky because they bypass the parts of eating that help you stop. There is less chewing, less time, and weaker fullness feedback, so you can add hundreds of calories without feeling like you ate. They also absorb quickly, which can create a bigger glucose swing and bring hunger back sooner. If fat loss is your goal, treat sugary drinks, juice, fancy coffees, and alcohol as optional extras, not part of the meal. Choose water, sparkling water, unsweetened tea, or black coffee most of the time. If you want a smoothie, make it meal-like. Include a solid protein dose and some fiber, and keep the total volume reasonable. When you drink your calories, you often borrow appetite from later. Keep calories chewable, and your hunger will start acting like a signal again. Stress can flip that signal off. Moving to slide 10. Stress steals your switch. Higher cortisol can raise glucose. Poor sleep pushes hunger up, and your brain starts craving quick fuel while impulse control drops. That is why late-night eating shows up on the worst days. Your best move is to protect sleep and reduce friction. Keep a protein-forward, high-fiber option ready, and set a simple kitchen cutoff time. When stress is high, build routines that make the right choice the easy choice, and let movement open the next door. Moving to slide 11. Movement is one of the fastest ways to unlock better fuel use. When your muscles contract, they pull in glucose, and you usually need less insulin to handle the same meal. That is why a 10-minute post-meal walk can smooth the spike and reduce the crash that makes you snack. Over time, fewer swings means longer, easier gaps between meals. Your body gets the message that stored fuel is available. Moving to slide 12. To make this work for you, run a simple pattern test for a week. Start by tracking hunger timing after a normal meal. If you are hungry again in 60 to 90 minutes, that often points to a meal that was heavy in fast carbs or light on protein and fiber. Notice what happens after a carb-heavy meal like cereal, pastries, or a big bowl of pasta. Some people feel energized, then suddenly shaky, irritable, headachy, or ravenous. That is a clue that glucose rose fast and fell fast. Now compare that to a protein-first meal. Eat the protein portion before the starch, or choose a meal built around eggs, yogurt, fish, chicken, tofu, or beans. Many people feel steadier and naturally stop thinking about food for longer. Also, flag liquid calorie days. Sweet coffee drinks, juice, smoothies, and alcohol can deliver calories without much chewing, which often leads to earlier hunger. Finally, separate sleep versus hunger days. After a short night, your appetite signals can run louder even if the meal was fine. The goal is not perfection. It is finding the combination that keeps you steady enough to switch to stored fuel between meals. Moving to slide 13. Once you see your pattern, build a switch-friendly plate. Start with protein first. Aim for a clear portion at each meal, because protein supports satiety and helps limit how high the meal drives glucose. Then add fiber-rich plants like vegetables, beans, lentils, berries, or chia. Fiber slows how quickly carbs hit your bloodstream and makes the meal feel bigger. Choose smart carbs, portioned. Think potatoes, rice, oats, fruit, or whole grains. But keep the serving consistent so you can predict your hunger later. Add fats, measured, not accidental. A little olive oil, nuts, avocado, or cheese can improve satisfaction, but large amounts can make it easier to overshoot calories. Keep ultra-processed extras minimal, like sugary sauces, chips, and desserts that stack cravings. When your plate is built this way, switching between meal fuel and stored fuel becomes much more automatic. Moving to slide 14. Get help if the signals are intense or confusing. If you have persistent, overwhelming hunger that does not respond to balanced meals, that deserves a closer look. If you frequently get symptoms that feel like low blood sugar, like shakiness, sweating, dizziness, confusion, or fainting, do not try to tough it out. If your weight is changing quickly without you trying, either up or down, that is another reason to check in. Medication can also change the whole picture. Diabetes drugs, weight loss medications, steroids, thyroid medication, and even some antidepressants can affect appetite and glucose regulation, and timing matters. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, have a history of eating disorders, or have a medical condition like diabetes, talk with a clinician before making aggressive fasting or carb-cutting changes. You are not failing. You are collecting data, and a clinician can help you interpret it safely so your next steps actually work. Moving to slide 15. Here is your next meal experiment. Pick one meal you eat often. Add a protein portion you can measure with your usual routine. Add one fiber side, like a salad, vegetables, beans, or berries. After you eat, walk for 10 minutes at an easy pace. Then, log when true hunger returns, not cravings. Do that 3 times and compare. If this helped, subscribe for more practical, evidence-based strategies. And comment with your meal choice and when hunger came back. This content is for education only and is not medical advice. Talk to your clinician before making diet, exercise, or medication changes. Control insulin. Control your biology.